Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. In this video I will be painting a small view from the coast of Sicily. This little town is called San Nicola l'Arena. I took this picture back in August while I was taking a walk along the small harbor. I've been wanting to paint this for quite a while and I've been putting this idea away for months and months, and now I've decided to give this a try. I love the picture and looking back at the finished painting brings me right back to this beautiful summer day in Sicily. I painted this in my Sicily sketchbook and I used a Hahnemühle watercolor sketchbook for this. For this painting I used my Rubens watercolor palette. I have a lot of palettes, but this one has so many vibrant colors which are perfect for summer paintings. So I wanted to show you in this video how you can take a complex picture like this, which is packed with details, and I wanted to show you how you can simplify it. A scene like this can hold you back from painting, but simplifying is key. So what looks good on a picture might not work for a painting. You can change things around to make the overall composition interesting, easy, and more to the point. What I mean by that is that you focused on the main features of this view, which are the plants in the left foreground, the beach with the boats, and the small town in the back. In the picture you can clearly see that most of the water is filled with little boats. I didn't want to paint them all, so I just put a couple in the sketch to suggest that it is a harbor, but without having to load up the painting with too much information. Also, the initial idea was to do an ink sketch first and then going over with the watercolors, but I didn't want to draw the palm trees with ink. So the weird thing about palm trees, for me at least, is that the more you try to make them look realistic, the faker they end up looking, which I've learned the hard way. I've painted a lot of awful looking palm trees, and so now I have a more loose approach for painting them, and it makes a lot of difference in how they end up looking. So since I wanted that loose, sketchy look for the palm trees, I didn't want to have ink only. So I knew from the start that I wanted to use watercolors only for the palm trees and the foliage part of the painting. But then I thought I might use ink for the little town in the background and maybe the boats. But in my opinion, that would have looked kind of weird to have ink in some parts and in some not. Maybe it wouldn't have looked weird, but I'm glad that I stuck to watercolors only for this painting because I really like how it turned out. So the more you paint, the more confident you will feel about composition and simplifying things. I know I overthink everything, and over the years I really learned that confidence and practice are the most important things in painting. A couple of years back I wouldn't have known how to handle a reference picture so full of details like this, and maybe this is one of the reasons why it took me so long to finally paint this in my sketchbook. When I took the picture back in Sicily, I knew I wanted to paint this, but I've been putting the idea away for a month because the picture is full of details. But now I feel like I've gotten more confident, way more confident than when I started the sketchbook. And so you can get a better idea of what I mean by all this simplifying if you, for example, look closer at the finished piece. Overall it is very detailed as a painting, but the shapes and the sketch is very simplistic. For example, the boats aren't super detailed, it's a very loose sketch, just a suggestion, but overall you can tell those are supposed to be boats even though they aren't hyper realistic looking. That is something that builds over time. I know we want to paint good and perfect from the get-go, but you have to practice and practice. That's why I don't believe in talent so much. You have to put in the work and passion and you will get better. I wasn't good at painting landscapes at all, and I've only started right before going on vacation because I knew I wanted to dedicate an entire sketchbook to my vacation, and I wanted to do urban sketching and landscape paintings, and so I learned a lot. Then I'm getting better and more confident with painting landscapes, which was never my cup of tea. But now, since I've put in the work and I've done many paintings, now I feel more comfortable with even complex pieces like this one. And that is why it's important to keep it simple. You don't have to put in every little detail. It doesn't have to look exactly like the picture. As I said, what looks good on a picture doesn't have to look good on a painting, especially when it's this small. You can't just put in every little detail, which is unnecessary. If I had drawn every single boat that was on the picture in this painting, it would have looked like a mess. At first I thought I didn't have enough boats on my sketch, but I'm glad I kept it this simple because I really like how it turned out, and having all the water in the picture just makes it look prettier in my opinion. Also, this is a better approach. For example, if you're painting on location, you can sit there for 2 days straight and paint. I've been painting this at home, but I've painted some of the previous pages while I was in Sicily, and so you don't have that much time when you're on location sketching and painting, and so you have to work on simplifying things. I know right in the beginning it's not that easy and your eyes aren't trained for that yet, but the more you paint, the more you will get into it. I wasn't good at painting landscapes for a long time. I've tried and I messed up so many paintings, and now seeing the process of how far I've come in a couple of months, practice is key. Now that I've told you the most important things for this painting, I will let you enjoy the rest of the video with some relaxing music, and I hope you'll enjoy watching me paint this beautiful view.